Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Hayden Wildcats head football coach, Chad Eads, powered by Campus Traditions. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome in, Coach.
All right, good to see you guys again.
Good to see you. So back on September 26th, you traveled to West Point. Unfortunately, that was a losing affair, 42-12. Yeah. Tell us about the game.
Well, we went into the game, and I thought our kids had a good week of preparation, and got into the game. And it was a competitive game for a while. Then all of a sudden, everything kind of fell apart on us, and gave up some scores. Had troubles getting them stopped, and then where we'd been moving the ball offensively, kind of hit a lull, and just to me, a disappointing loss, maybe the most disappointing of the season. Just as far as kids that were needing to make plays that had been, we just fell short in several areas in that game.
Okay, all right. Then this last Friday, you hosted Ramsay, and boy, they are a juggernaut, Coach. Yeah. They beat you 73-6. Tell us about it.
Well, not a whole lot to talk about. We opened the game up, had held them on 3 and out, and forced a punt. They had a bad snap, which we'd seen that a little bit on film. So I felt like if we could ever get them stopped and make them punt, they could. So we got that recovery and had a nice little drive. They helped us with some penalties early in the game and got a score when they had 6-0. Held them the next series, and they faked a punt. So we got that stopped and got the ball back, and but just somewhere along the line, we're kind of losing a little bit of intensity in games when there's some when the difficult moments come around, we're not responding well to those right now. And you can't avoid those. In every game, there's going to be a setback, and we got to do better recovering from those.
Sure. Okay. Any injuries to note?
No, we actually got a few kids coming back.
Nice.
John Kelly's been out a couple of weeks with a concussion, and he'll be back. Was cleared yesterday, and today'll be his first day back to practice. So we'll take care of him a little bit. We got a few kids. We're kind of letting them just go through the motions this week, just because they're banged up and bruised, but nothing terrible serious from any starters.
Okay. All right. So this Friday, you travel to Corner. It's a region game, and they are really good, Coach. They're 5-1 on the season. What do you expect to see from the Yellow Jackets?
Well, in our region, you see, so far you go 1 week, you see very big and very fast, and then you see big and just tough and physical, and that's what you get out of Corner. I think they're a big team. You can tell they take a lot of pride in what they do. They've obviously taken a lot of pride in the weight room. Their kids are well developed, and so it'll be a tough physical game. I know that's the kind of game they want to play, and that's the kind of game we're trying to learn how to play in ourselves and respond to. So they remind me of. A lot of their kids in positions remind me of ours, just same type looking athletes. They've just look like they've been in the weight room a little longer than we have. And they've got, they're on a roll a little bit over there and playing with a lot of pride and a lot of confidence.
Okay. All right. So then in 2 weeks on the 17th, you host Wenonah. They're 4-2, so they're having a pretty good season. What do you think you'll see, or how will you prepare for the Dragons?
Well, same thing. I think there'll be a lot of speed at skill positions, and a defense with a lot of speed. So you got to, you can't have plays that are going to take a long time to get to the line of scrimmage, because then they just never get there. And so we got to get better at staying on blocks a little longer. Our running backs hitting holes a little bit sooner, getting the ball out of our hand at the quarterback position, and all that kind of ties together with our receivers. Him having confidence in that those guys are going to be where they're supposed to be, so we can throw the ball on time. So, so we're still kind of in that. I feel like kind of every day we're still in that stage of still learning a lot of new things, getting a little confidence, along the way, and confidence in each other. And so we're still kind of a work in progress.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So let's take a moment and spotlight one of the players on the team, someone who's been consistent, someone who's done really well for you, and you've really kind of taken a shot to.
Well, the first one that comes to mind, and there's several, especially in our senior class, but Asher Davidson is a tight end. has played some defensive end, played a little bit of linebacker last week.
Right.
Actually led the team in tackles, so maybe we're not playing him enough on defense. But a very impressive young man. He's involved in our track program. He's working toward being an Eagle Scout right now.
Fantastic.
He was telling me about a year ago he had the honor of putting a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Was chosen out of a large group of kids around the country, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, but just a very impressive kid. Shows up every day and works hard. Whatever we ask him to do, he does it and gives his best effort. And and he's the one that you hope the young kids will see. There's a lot of respect from our young kids toward him. He's a fun kid, but he's also serious about everything he does, and that's the personality that you want. That I want all of our program to be.
Right. Good role model.
I wish I could take a lot of credit for him. I've only known him since June, but he's a very impressive young man.
Good deal. So, Coach, that's our show. We appreciate your time, and as always, we appreciate yours. Join us again in a couple of weeks for another Hayden edition of Coach Speak.